I remember that day walking to the cafeteria. There was like a mini. We had our operations center up on the 7th floor, and they've got TVs going from half the countries in the world, and everybody's sitting at these tables and typing, and calls are coming in from around the world, whatever. But there was a place also on the 1st floor by the cafeteria, and I didn't know really what it was. I think the Office of Security had it, and it had a map of the world, and there were lights, like pins, but they were lights in all the countries. And like the whole 8-9 months that I was doing my job, like maybe it would be flashing in, Nepal because somebody massacred one of the royal family members, opened fire on the rest of the royal family, killed every last one of them. Right?
In Nepal.
Yeah. So that's why there's no royal family anymore.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Nepal is blinking, or the Shining Path is doing something in Peru, so Peru's blinking. I remember going to lunch that day, and every country in the Middle East is blinking. It was like a police car. Anyway, they announced the invasion of Kuwait. So I rush into the office. I got there about 7, and my boss says, "Don't take your jacket off. We're going to the White House." I had never been to the White House before. So we get in a car. We go to the White House. I'm nervous as all get out. But I am the leading expert on Saddam Hussein, period.
So you had spent how many months studying him?
9 months.
9 months now.
So some Secret Service guy takes us into the Oval Office, and it's the president, the vice president, the national security advisor, the CIA director, my boss, and me. The president sits down. I'm on a couch, right? And I remember looking around, like trying to be as serious as I could be. And I'm looking around thinking, my buddies would not believe this in a million years if I told them. If I called them and said, "You won't believe where I am right now." So the president sits down and he goes, "Well, now what do we do?" And everybody turns and looks at me. And I was 25 years old. So it takes me a minute, but I said, well, here's what we should expect Saddam's next steps to be. So we start plotting out what the heck we're going to do. And we got up and left. And my boss says, you might want to pack for Saudi Arabia. So I didn't cover just Iraq. I also covered Kuwait. But Kuwait was so small that we didn't really pay much attention to it. But nobody in America knew as much about the Kuwaiti royal family as I did. And so
in 9 months, you got all this down.
If this is all you do for 10 hours a day and then 4 hours on Saturdays, I mean...
Would you mind me asking, I don't know what's classified here or what's not, but like, they obviously, you're a young guy, but they're like, hey, congrats, you're on Saddam or whatever early on, which then leads to all these other things. But, this is pre-Google era, pre-whatever that. You guys are also the CIA. You have resources
all the
today.
Files are on paper.
So
we had these enormous, like floor-to-ceiling, rotating file cabinets.
So is that what you were doing? You were just going through files? The whole thing? Were you calling people in the field like
no,
CIA contacts?
We had these proto-computers called Delta Datas. The screens were like this big, and they were all green. But we would get cables constantly from the State Department, the CIA, the NSA, the Defense Department, and then thousands, tens of thousands of pieces of press. So it's called all-source traffic, all-source cable traffic.
Could you use keywords to type in?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you had to be cleared for the keyword. Like I couldn't type in China. I'm not cleared for China at that point. That all changed later. But my job was Iraq and Kuwait. And if the cable had something to do with Iraq or Kuwait, I was going to see it. I couldn't see operational traffic. That also changed post 9/11. But I was already in operations by then, so it didn't matter to me.
How would you amalgamate all this? Was it literally like you see in the movies where, you had a giant room and a board with a bunch of pictures and shit on it, and that's what you would do?
I remember that day walking to the cafeteria. There was a there was like a mini. We had our operations center up on the 7th floor, and they've got TVs going from half the countries in the world, and everybody's sitting at these tables and typing, and calls are coming in from around the world, whatever. But there was a place also on the 1st floor by the cafeteria, and I didn't know really what it was. I think the Office of Security had it, and it had a map of the world, and there were lights, like pins, but they were lights in all the countries. And like the whole 8-9 months that I was doing my job, like maybe it would be flashing in, Nepal because somebody massacred one of the royal family members, opened fire on the rest of the royal family, killed every last one of them. Right?
In Nepal.
Yeah. So that's why there's no royal family anymore.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Nepal is blinking, or, the Shining Path is doing something in Peru. So Peru's blinking. I remember going to lunch that day, and every country in the Middle East is blinking. It was like a police car. And I was like, oh my God, this is bad. So I ended up flying out to, the royal family escaped from the town of Ahmadi, which is the
Kuwait.
Yeah, Kuwait. It's in southern Kuwait. It's where the oil fields are. They escaped across the border into Dhahran, and from
Dhahran.
Yeah,
that's a country.
No, it's a city in the Saudi eastern province.
Okay, I was gonna say that's a new one.
No, it's a city. It's where Aramco is.
Okay.
Yeah, and so from Dhahran they went to Taif, which is just outside of Mecca. So I went to Taif and was kind of the liaison with the royal family.
Is this in August 1990?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in those months, though, where you were studying Saddam Hussein and becoming his preeminent biographer, leading up to the meeting with the president in the Oval Office, let me preface this by saying this. I don't want to make any mistake out here. Saddam Hussein was obviously a very bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
He killed his own people.
Oh, my God. It was legendary.
I mean, his sons might have even been worse than he was.
I would agree with that.
No doubt about that. And I'm sure you know way more than you've forgotten way more than I could ever know. That said, we look at a lot of this hindsight 2020. Eventually, we'll get to the later Iraq war. But to preface that right now, it's like, we kind of went in there saying there were these WMDs that there weren't there. And when you look at the aftermath of what was caused as a result of us doing that, it is arguably at best and pretty much confirmed that at worst that it was actually better with Saddam in there.
There's no question about it.
Right. So
2 million people died
because
of this.
At the time, this is way back. Mm-hmm. Are you thinking to yourself, holding two thoughts at the same time, going, really bad guy, do we have to get involved with this, though?
No, and I'll tell you why. That's a good question. Really bad guy, we need to push him out of Kuwait, which was the original plan.
Right.
Nobody ever used the term nation building, right? That was the one dirty word nobody could utter, because it was none of our business to start building nations.
And we're not good at it.
We're not good at it. I mean, post-World War II, we can't point to a single success story, really. Really not a single one.
Well, kind of Germany and Japan.
Post-World War II.
Post-World War II.
Yeah. But
you're counting that as...
Yeah, I'm counting that because of the aftermath of World War II. Yeah, that's really our only success story.
Yes.
So, and let me add something, too, about the cause of the war. It was clear in the early summer of 1990. Actually, let me ask you, do you mind pulling up a map of the Rumaila oil field, Rumailah, Rumaila oil field? So this is an oil field that's like 95% under Iraq and 5% under Kuwait.
Got it.
So
which one do you want, John?
Yeah, that first one looks like it'll
right
work.
There?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Now you see the green, it sort of ends at the Kuwaiti border.
Yes.
It goes across the Kuwaiti border like a kilometer. And the Kuwaitis were slant drilling. They were drilling diagonally under Iraqi territory so they could steal the oil. And the Iraqis caught them.
Right. Not good.
So the Iraqis said, you're stealing the oil. We're going to send troops to the border. And the Kuwaitis are like, oh my God, they're starting to freak out. So the Pentagon asked the U.S. Defense Attaché in Baghdad do us a favor, drive down to the border and tell us if there's anything we should be worried about. He drives down to the border and he says the entire Iraqi military is on its way south.
How big was their military?
Oh, it was about 200,000 people.
Oh.
It was big.
That'll do.
It was the fourth largest military in the Middle East, or third.
Wow.
It was big. It was big. Like Iran and Egypt were bigger, but it was big. So he's like, we need to take this deadly seriously. So the State Department, under Secretary of State James Baker, sent a cable to the U.S. ambassador to Iraq, April Glaspie. I loved April. She was a career diplomat, just an awesome person. She lived with her mom in Baghdad. Her mom was old and needed, elder care. So she was living in Baghdad with her daughter. They were getting ready to go on vacation 4 days before the invasion. And so Baker sent a cable saying, before you go on vacation, go see Saddam Hussein. And she had only seen Saddam once. It was when she presented her credentials. So it was, Saddam didn't meet with anybody, really.
That's so strange, like thinking of it now, like Saddam meeting with like a U.S. official person.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
So April goes to see Saddam, and she told Saddam exactly what she was instructed to tell Saddam, right? Now, I remember the talking points cable that went out. And the point we wanted to convey was that the United States does not take a position on Arab border disputes. Right?
Oh, wow. That's not what I was expecting.
That was a critical mistake.
Okay.
The conventional wisdom was the Iraqis were so angry about the Rumaila oil field that they were going to take the Kuwaiti part of the field. So they were going to go into Kuwait. We thought maybe 5, maybe 10 kilometers, because the rest is just wasteland, and just secure the field. Nobody thought they're going to take the entire country, and then it's going to fall in 4 hours. Right? The whole country fell in 4 hours.
Saddam would never.
I know.
Come on now.
Well, we figured because the Iran-Iraq war had just finished like 18 months earlier. Like, he really wants to start another war.
But Iran's such a formidable big country. Like, there's a lot there. Whereas Kuwait,
that was the key.
Little...
That was the key. And in his mind, the American ambassador had just said, go ahead and take Kuwait. We're not going to interfere. Right?
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.